Okay, this is going to be more of a informal video. I'm not going to really do too much editing with this. I really just want to talk about some things with this game that's kind of just been on my mind recently. Because I really don't think this game's in a good place right now for a lot of reasons, which I kind of just wrote down in this notepad here. So really why I'm making this video is not just out of malice or just a need to start drama. I'm way past that, and I'm way too old to be doing that. But just I've noticed recently that a lot of content creators have been just dropping the game. This really isn't just something new. I've noticed that this has been happening even last year, where there's some people that used to just make a lot of content for this game, and they're just gone. Like you haven't heard of them. I actually just went back and like looked up these channels, and they're just gone for like a year now. I have no idea why these people are leaving the game other than just they're fatigued. There might be more to it, but I've noticed has just been the main trend for it, even with the people that did leave since last year. With all these people gone, there's barely anyone making content on this game, and people that make content on these games, it's like I would say they're actually like needed. There's a few things I do want to talk about that I think is just making people just fatigued of this game. Oh, M6. I have not seen an M60 in a while. That's kind of also what I did want to talk about. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is that the drawing right now, it is insanely low quality and it should not have happened realistically. So I remember back then when the beta map was just about to be released on the Discord, the DPI Discord, they said, I think it was Gus actually who said that they're going to focus on doing just general game updates because they've been doing events for way too long and it's just been sidetracking the actual work they've should have been doing since the start because this new map has been delayed for years and it's only just been amplified by just them focusing on events which they should have not been doing since the start. And then literally a couple of weeks after the beta map releases, they drop the drawing, which it's just I have no idea why they just backpedaled on that decision at all because the beta map release it just was not it. Because if you remember, if when the beta map released, it was insanely buggy. You couldn't use cars. You couldn't. I think there were some weapons that were just broken. There were some map glitches, but I think are still in the game actually. If I can like eventually go over there, if I remember correctly, but it was just generally a bad just release. And this is also why that initial beta map video took so long for me to upload because just the combat was terrible. There was just so many bugs happening that it was like obvious I couldn't ignore it and it was impacting gameplay. They were patched, but then they reintroduced some of these issues with the beta map, or not the beta map, the drying because of the water here. There are some spots on the map that you literally cannot get out of. You are soft locked if you try to jump in, or there are some just areas in the map that you just fall through that they still haven't patched out yet, even though they said they did. I have no idea why they haven't fixed that. It just leads me to believe that they didn't really put any thought into doing this update. They probably even playtested it. I think I looked through Gus's messages before I hopped on to make this to see if there's anything on that, and I think he said, and don't quote me on this, that he just forgot that there were playtesters for this kind of stuff, which is just insane to think about, that there's like a whole playtest team and he just forgot they existed for a huge event release on the new map they just did. And it's just like these huge releases, they don't really add anything to the game besides maybe a couple, like a bunch of cosmetics. Actually, I should have said a couple. I'm going to talk about a little more about the cosmetics soon. It's just kind of why I'm in this small server. But it's the cosmetics and maybe like one or two new weapons, maybe utility item, and that's it. That's the only thing that's like really noticeable for these releases. If you want to count the new map being anything, just I mean, I'm not really too excited about this map. Like the honeymoon phase for the new map has just been over for a long time now. Maybe lasted like a week, and it is just like there's just so much work still have to be done with it. So I think the main reason why people are fatigued of this game is that the general gameplay loop, it is starting to just wear on people a lot. And you kind of see this happening with other games too, which it really isn't too surprising when all you're doing for the past 6, maybe like 8 years, I think, if like off the top of my head, I really can't do the math right now. But basically, like, let's just say, imagine spending nearly a decade of just playing the same game, doing the same things over and like you're going to go crazy. Like the only major update they did to combat, because the only thing you can do in this game is just fight people. There's no survival aspect to it, like in APOC 1. They're kind of sidelining that because they want to perfect PvP, quote unquote. And there's just so much wrong with the PvP still. I don't know if it's going to be, if that like survival thing is going to ever be released, because they're just like adding so much stuff to PvP and it's like not like actually fixing it, the core problems with it. And really the only thing they changed was just the weapon stats. So now like some pistols they can three shot you. I think hand cannons or like the deagle or like revolvers they can two shot you. Like I mean like those things are okay, but then in practice you barely notice a difference compared to how it was back then when they didn't do that. Like people are just like annoyed by the PvP nowadays because you know like there's just like the imbalance of it plus cheaters, which there's I'm gonna go more into depth about that, but I'm just gonna talk about the drawing stuff first. What else? The map imbalance. Okay, so the loot for this drawing map, it is just way like imbalanced. I don't know how to like put it to word. It's just terrible. Okay, I don't know why I took damage here, but so here I'm gonna try and visualize it here. So okay, so imagine you spawn in either of these two places, at regional or the airstrip. Where are you more likely to reset at these locations to get a better spawn? Take like a good second to look at the locations on these sides of the map and tell me which area are you more likely to go to get a really good gun. Because I guarantee you most of everyone that actually just like went with that hypothetical, they're going to reset at airstrip to maybe get like a Huron or a lighthouse spawn. There is absolutely nothing on the Mackinac side of the map that is actually like worth staying there for compared to Halsey here. Because, and it's a simple fact that Oasis is in the middle of Halsey right here. Because Oasis, it can give you every weapon type in the game besides I think the Springfield weapons and maybe some civilian weapons, which it really doesn't matter. At that point, you might as well just like loot at like regional or some other place. Compared to Airstrip, where you have Springfield weapons here, maybe you can get an AK at bunkers. Absolutely no one goes to Shipwreck because it generally doesn't spawn anything there. Oh, you can go to Crawler and Mansion that could have Soviet weapons or also the Oasis loot tables. But you know, you have to basically walk like the equivalent of 10 minutes here. It takes like I think each square you see on the map, it takes about 1 to 2 minutes to traverse compared to Oasis where you can spawn really close to it like at Lumberyard University, Huron, and you can get maybe like a car like off spawn that like no one has ever drove before because they don't actually like loot at these places. They just go straight to Oasis. It will take you like maybe like 2-3 minutes to get there. Compared to spawning all the way at airship, you go to Hive. Oh well, I got an A2, best I got there. Bunkers, maybe I got like a Mosin or something. Who cares? Oh, I go to Shipwreck. Oh, I got another A2. Oh, I got the Crawler. Maybe I can get the Trooper 1919 LMG. Oh, it didn't spawn this time because it takes 1% of the time to spawn with the zombie that has it. Actually, that's another good point. You barely ever see people use a Trooper because it doesn't even like spawn most of the time. Meanwhile, at Oasis, you always see people getting tank gunned or the tank gun's on the ground but has no ammo. It actually gets used there. It's insane to me how the weapon that one-shots you, most of the time when people use it, it actually spawns more than the LMG that you barely see that I think has just like slightly better stats than the actual 1919 that it's based off of in this game. Because the Trooper is like a variant for the normal 1919. Like, there is so much imbalance with these new locations. Oh, and also, I forgot, hydroponics. But, like, hydroponics, it's like, just, like, a cosmetic location. There's no reason to actually go there besides just getting the botanist stuff. Like, there is absolutely no reason to be on most of the map right now during the drawing because Oasis literally has everything that this part of the map has. I have no idea why they balanced it this way. I kind of expected that Oasis was going to be here. I think I said that in the beta map release video. Which, okay, I can kind of see why that's a bad idea now. Because just this location on itself, it's just like negates everything that you do everywhere else on the map. Like, is like a massive imbalance for just loot, for PvP, for just design in general. Like, it's just terrible. Let me see what else. The loot imbalance. Yeah, basically, there's just no reason to go anywhere else because Oasis has like everything you need here, every weapon type in the game. Why would you go to Naval and maybe like get an A2 and a DMR when you can just go to Oasis and it has an A1, XM, AKS, all like the like maybe like mid-game type of gear just like as your like worst type of loot. And also, by the way, they have guaranteed spawns there too, because some zombies they will always spawn with those type of weapons on their back. Meanwhile, at these other locations, they rarely spawn with them. I want to talk about the cosmetic grind because this thing is actually like pissed me off. So part of the reason why I'm in a small server is because I want to grind these new cosmetics because they actually do look cool for the most part. But it's for some reason every update, Gus for some reason has to like shoehorn like 30 Soviet cosmetics in the game. I don't know the reason why he does this. I really actually do want to know. I wonder if Gus actually watches these videos on his game. And if he is and he's watching this right now, I really want you to comment why you like put in like 30 Soviet cosmetics every update. Because here, let me like hide here real quick. Hopefully no one's on this side of the map. If I type in Soviet, also by the way, half the time you use the filter, it doesn't even work. Like, here, let me do this. More than half of the Soviet cosmetics don't even show up on the search bar here. If I type in US for some of the, like, it doesn't even show like the US weapons or the US cosmetics. Even with that, it barely spawned any of them. So if you really want to like see what you unlocked, you just use newest first, and maybe you'll have it right here. Like, yeah. Like, how does like the search feature not even work? You can't even filter it by the event. So if I type in drawing, you can't even figure that out. If you really want to figure out what cosmetics you're missing from the drawing event, you kind of just gotta like go through every single one to figure it out. And there's also the paid cosmetics here, and you can't tell if they're actually unlockable through normal gameplay, and it just makes you think that you just missed over this easy like item. And also they have like the testing one. I didn't even know they gave out like testing cosmetics for them. Must be nice though, for sure. There's just so many of these cosmetics that like no one is ever going to wear. The prairie like dress, like who's wearing this? Like like who like what is this like who is gonna wear this like who is this for? I have like I don't know. Like some of these outfits are okay, like the cowboy stuff that they added with this update. It's actually decent. I'll give them that. But like these are like the fun cosmetics though. Like I really want more fun cosmetics in this game because there's some that they don't have like anything else for it. Like yeah, like the metal drink hat, like this is based off like the other like drink hat in the game. Yeah, like right here. Like where's the fun cosmetics like this? Like they have this, like the umbrella hat. Like this was in the first drawing. So this doesn't really count as like being new. The propeller hat, the bowler hat, the adventurer hat. I mean, if you know, you know. But like, where are these fun cosmetics? Like the head wrap here. Like this is actually an okay cosmetic. I'll give them that. This is an okay paid cosmetic. It's actually worth this price because of all the like color variants here. There's nothing else here for like the hats though that are actually like cool. Like yeah, you shoehorn like more of these like hats in here. Like it's like there's just like these cosmetics are just not like worth grinding for like realistically, but I just do it anyways because I need all the cosmetics in case like I need it for a video. Yeah, let's see if I can make something out of the Soviet cosmetics that they added. I highly doubt it though. Like what's the point of this? Like I don't understand the point of like 30 of the Soviet cosmetics. Like yeah, you added like maybe another Soviet cosmetic that's tan. There's like 10 in the game that are tan. It's just the only difference is that their pattern is different. Like who is this for? Like at least with the head wrap I can make an outfit out of it. Sort of with the pink one too. They don't really have that many pink cosmetics, which is kind of insane to me. They should have more like fun ones. Maybe one with like more with like with the cowboy stuff. Because you know like the belt here, it's actually part of a paid cosmetic along with the hat. I don't think they added like any new like cowboy hat for the like Wild West stuff, which is kind of insane to me. They only added like shirt and pants for it. This doesn't really affect like development time at all to an extent because Gus is the one adding it, and Gus doesn't primarily script for the game to my knowledge, based on what I read on DPI, trying to like do some small research for this. It's mainly just Hutch doing that, and also no shade to the clothing designer. I mean like with the custom character rig they have here, they actually did do a good job with this. I'll give them that. It's just there's no reason to be adding 50 cosmetics every update and just continually like bloating like the cosmetic list here. Like if you're a new player and you want to unlock everything in the game, oh wow, that's nice. The car glitched. This is the rarest car in the game, by the way, and it just glitched out on me like that. And now it's unusable. I can't even move my character. Well, that's really great to find on camera. He can't even drive the car now. It's just stuck here. All right. At least there's another shitty car here. But yeah, issues like that are so common. It is actually unbelievable that it's still in the game. What else was there that I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, that for cosmetics, they make these so insanely rare. Like the Soviet cosmetics, for example. There are like maybe like a few dedicated places to find these Soviet zombies, like here at Mansion, maybe at Tango right here. That's kind of not listed on the map. Maybe at the Soviet camps that are just like the random events that also do spawn those guys. But the thing is, Gus doesn't like tell you the drop rate for these like cosmetics. So for some zombies, it's like, oh, it'll drop most of the time. Others, maybe like half the time. And then for the Soviet cosmetics, it's like, oh, they drop maybe like 0.01% of the time. And they also made it so that when you backstab a zombie, it's actually sort of easier to get those cosmetics because I think there's like a multiplier for the loot drop. But I think it's different for every zombie, or like every zombie type that he chooses for some reason. And he still doesn't tell you like the exact number of his drop rate to begin with, plus the multiplier. So, okay, so for example, I think for most of them, it's a 2 times like increase. But okay, so think about it like this. The drop rate for a cosmetic, let's say for the Soviet one, it's 0.1% of the time, or 1%. So 1% plus 200%. Oh, I almost killed myself doing that. That's crazy, but like the number for it is so like insignificant. Like it wouldn't really make a difference if you just like killed the zombie normally. Like I can't believe I got a second glitch off that. That's actually really funny. But basically what I'm trying to say is that like the cosmetics are so insanely rare, it leads me to believe that Gus made it like that, or just like the people in general like developing for this game, they made it like so rare in general so they can have like boosted player retention numbers in like the analytics for this game. Because I think if they just made it so like, let's say tomorrow they unlocked every cosmetic for everyone, or they just made it like 100% of the time every zombie is going to drop their cosmetics, no one's going to play this game afterwards. Like maybe like half of the player base, or maybe like a good portion of it, is going to go away because they got what they wanted from this event. I don't think people are staying just for the PvP alone, because the PvP, there's like so much issues with it right now, including like outside factors like the server, the cheaters of like who's going to be online to play with you, because playing solo is just like a terrible experience as well. Like it really feels like they're doing it just to boost like numbers for this game, which like I guarantee you the numbers probably aren't looking good right now, because at the time of recording this, I think it's like barely 1,000 players are playing the game at peak hours right now, which is insane to think about, because this is in the middle of the beta map release and also the drying event being put into this. Like it really goes to show just like how tired people are of like the constant like bullshit with this game. What else here? Okay, so the performance. I did kind of want to talk about this because when the drying first released, the performance was like hit or miss. I think in the drawing video I uploaded, the performance for it's kind of mid, which is kind of expected for like every event they do, because they put like so much detail into it. But I think it's just the nature of like Roblox that like they're pushing it to its limits to begin with, and then they release like a really like detailed map along with it, that the performance is going to like get like tanked a lot, even when you have like low settings. But it was tolerable at least, and plus the ping wasn't that bad too, because you know like when you play APOC most of the time, the ping is terrible. I had to cut like half of that video. It would have been like a 2-parter because of how much we got, like how much footage we got. But I had to cut the last part of it because when we joined another server, when they did the like hotfix or like secret update, whatever they did, it really felt like the I fucking hate you update. Because not only did the FPS go from like tolerable to just insanely low in populated servers. Like right now it's okay, like maybe like 90 average. That's how much it was in like the normal beta map when it first released. In a populated server, it goes down to 60. Like it just dropped to 40 right there for some reason when I entered Salem. It drops down to 60 average, and I have a computer to like play multiple Roblox games if I really wanted to at the same time. And also like render a video too. Like my computer is more than enough to like play this like game. I have no idea what they did in that like update, and ever since then the performance has just not been okay. And you really do feel the effects of this, because it's one thing to like be in a small server. Oh, okay, I just nearly kill myself again. I don't know. This has to be fixed ASAP. This is actually insane. But what I was saying is, it's one thing when you join a small server like I'm in right now to get cosmetics, because the ping and FPS, it really doesn't matter. You're just here to do one thing and one thing only. It's another thing when you join a large server and it's like amplified, but like 5. The ping is terrible even when you're in the region you're supposed to be in. The FPS is just so low that when you're like in combat, it's like you're watching a Microsoft PowerPoint. And you end up dying because basically it just boils down to who has the better performance in the game. Like even right here, I think like this might be a Roblox bug, but like it looks like a supernova is about to happen because it's just how bright like the game, like why is it like this? It's so bright during the daytime, but during the night you can barely see this. I didn't even notice like how dark it was in the video I made for the drawing until someone commented that it's really dark and I should increase like the brightness for it. Even when you do like the quality slider here, I think I tested it in a big server and it like did nothing for the most part. I mean, it did do something here because it's a small server and there's like barely anything loaded on the map right now. But in a big server, like it generally does nothing. What I do want to talk about next is the player skill gap in this game, because I think part of the reason why like so many people that were playing the beta map, I think the beta map, it brought in both like players like returning that played the game like years ago. I don't really know that many people from back then, but I know a lot of like veteran players did come back to play the game. And also there was, I think, a lot of new players as well, because I think at most the player count for the game when the beta map released, it was like 20,000 or like in like the tens of thousands to my knowledge. Like a lot of people were like hopping on the play A-Block for the first time. And then after the honeymoon phase went by, like a lot of people stopped playing the game. They just dropped it, which is kind of sad to see because you can tell like the devs did pour their heart into this game, because there's like some really cool Easter egg. There's like good details here. The reason why people aren't staying is for like just the combat, the performance, like the skill gap too, especially the skill gap, because when you're a new player, there's no tutorial, like built-in tutorial in the game. At most, the like tutorial that there is in this game is like the tooltip when you like hover over an item here that tells you like what the like weapon is, or like the item in general is. And just knowing the weapon stats, that's not enough, because that tells you like maybe like a fraction of the picture for like how that weapon performs. If you look at the stats for like most of the AKs and maybe like some of the 7.62 NATO weapons, like the recoil is just defined as like a percentage. Like 84% recoil, like what does that mean? I don't know how the recoil is defined in this game. I don't know how the accuracy is defined either, if it's actually like in a like percentage or is it like defined through like the spread? Like it's like impossible to know because they don't tell you like how like this stuff works. I think on the wiki for this game, that's more community driven and it's more like speculation of just how like that like stat works. And probably it was mentioned like offhandedly by the devs on Discord, but it's like, are you gonna really rely on the player base to like look at a Discord message you sent maybe like a year ago that just like slightly alludes to like how a weapon performs? I guess it shouldn't feel like rocket science when you're trying to figure out how a gun performs and if you should pick it up or not when you're first starting the game out. And because of the loot discrepancy on just like the beta map in general, not just like the drawing map, combat is so one-sided when you're a new player and you just have early game loot and you don't know where to go. They kind of made it so like you kind of know where to go because you spawn here like at the very bottom and then you just work your way up. So it kind of just like nudges you to do that. But you kind of gotta like, okay, there's some random guy trying to fight me. Let's see if I can get him. I don't have an optic for this gun though. Is he cheating? I think he's cheating. Yeah, that's another thing. There's just a lot of closet cheaters, even in the small servers, which is just insane to think about. This could be like little Timmy that just like downloaded like some like free software. I don't know how all those miss, but sure. Let's see, is he an alt account? Oh yeah, it is an alt account. How peculiar that an alt account that was probably made today is hitting all M9 shots from like mid range, and it's doing that much damage. Like, that's another thing why people don't want to play this game anymore, because there's just so many cheaters. Like, I nearly died from that. Like, if that guy had a better weapon other than the M9, and he had like maybe like another brain cell of how to play the game, because I guarantee you that guy probably died in a large server and he just started playing this and he got so mad he just downloaded cheats. That if he had a better weapon, he could have just took me down right there and gotten all this loot. I actually don't care if I die. I'm just gonna leave this because I really don't want to tolerate this kind of bullshit. Okay, this is actually like an hour later. I did record the second part to this sort of like mini like rant video, and I realized the static in my mic was just way too hard to ignore, so I'm just redoing this again. Okay, so I think I left off at that closet cheater nearly killing me. But anyways, what I was saying about the cheater problem, it was that there is just so many cheaters in this game that you will find it nearly impossible to find a server where there isn't at least one person cheating. And I think it's more of a symptom that people join the game for the first time, they get mad because they died, and then they just download some cheat they found on the internet, or they actually like pay for like some software, which that's like again insane to me that people do that. But even with the cheats, they're still bad, because like if you need to download cheats, you're kind of just saying that you're terrible at the game. But you know, people are still gonna do it anyways. It's, you know, the nature of Roblox. I'm pretty sure like but people literally describe APOG as like a playground for cheaters. Like, that's how like prevalent it is. And even when you do encounter cheaters like that, like there's no reason to like report them either. Because to report someone, you need to join their Discord, like the DPI Discord. You need to make a ticket for a mod, and who knows when a mod is going to be available for you. You got to have proof of that cheater actually cheating. If it's them using ESP, or like you can like send like you have like a lizard brain like sixth sense that they're cheating. But too bad, because you need like actual evidence of that. So you can't just like ban someone off of like a thought crime. And the time it takes basically for like a ban to go through on an alt account that they probably made in like 10 seconds, they could make like maybe like 5 or 10 more. And don't even get me started on like the suggestions that people make to like reduce the amount of cheaters, because none of them work. It's more of just Roblox, like just the nature of this game in Roblox as well, being like sort of just unsecure now, like even with the anti-cheat they have. Like, there's really nothing you can do. There's nothing that the devs themselves can do other than maybe patching some things, and then they find another bypass, and like cheaters are always going to be like part of this game, is what I'm trying to say. But it's just like an unfortunate reality. I feel like instead of like the drawing event, they should have just put more resources into like doing the VIP servers, because if they make it like how they described it, there could be like community servers like in Battlefield and like every other game with a server browser like TF2. Like, you could sign like your own like mini mods to that like the VIP server, so then they can like ban people that join that are like exploiting, and then the cheaters are only found in like public servers. Like, yeah, you get to kind of see what I'm like seeing here. Like, we kind of like self-govern like the cheater problem in like VIP servers, which I think it would actually like help a lot, and it would probably like alleviate a lot of the work that the mods have to do. Which I don't know any mods if they do any work or not, but I'm not gonna throw shade at them because, you know, I don't really know what they do. But I don't know, they rather like put resources into like doing this. I think I talked about the player skill gap. There's no tutorial. Combat is one-sided. That's another thing for a new player. You could join up. It's on the drawing map. You join for the first time. You spawn at like Lumberyard. All you have is like a Garand. You go up to Oasis, seeing it for the first time, and then you just get tank gunned. And that's your introduction to Oasis. That's your introduction to APOC 2. That is your first life ever in APOC 2. And then people just leave because there's like a gun that can one-shot you, and they can't tell if it's like cheats or not because, you know, they're too experienced. Like, this game is not new player friendly. But yeah, ever since like the beta map release, just no new players want to play. The only people that are playing are the dedicated players that have been playing since like for years, maybe since release actually. And if you're a new player and you go against them, like, it's not fun. Like, you can apply that logic to like any like most like competitive, like any like slightly competitive game. Like, going against someone who's been playing for years, and you just started out maybe like a week or a month ago, maybe like a day ago even. And this just, like, the skill gap is just way too wide for like games like this. And some weapon stats. Yeah, I think I talked about that a little bit. The weapon stats, it's more of like a knowledge check, if anything, because some of these stats are just like so vaguely like described to you. Like, the recoil is like described as a percentage. Like, how, like, is it like more recoil the higher the percentage? Is it lower recoil the lower? Like, I don't understand it. because all the weapons in the game have roughly the same recoil percentage, but they all perform differently. So the only way you can ever like figure that out is if you use every single weapon in the game. I mean, you could try that in a VIP server because I'm pretty sure they're still free, but that doesn't really give you the full picture because it's one thing to know like the sort of like the rough like spray pattern of a weapon. It's another thing to actually use it in game against a person like in a PvP scenario. And most of the time when you use those weapons against someone in PvP, you just get like dumpstered. Like the bolt actions, the shotguns, some of the SMGs, like some weapon types are just flat out like absolute dog shit that there is no reason for you to ever pick them up other than just using it as a temporary weapon as like a means to an end to get something better later. Or to just get more ammo for another weapon, which is probably like another thing I'll talk about later because I think I had to delete that as well in the second part I made. Okay, so I'm gonna stop on this part because I think I'm going on a little on a tangent and there's like other stuff in this that I wanna like talk about. What else? Oh no, the redundant weapons, that's the next thing we're gonna talk about actually on this is on the notepad. I think I remember correctly. In one of the later updates to the alpha map before they swapped to the beta map, they released the woes variant. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It's the one without the scope. That same message that Gus, I'm pretty sure it was Gus that revealed it. He said that the purpose of that weapon was literally to just be ammo for the other like 7.62 rimmed Soviet like weapons, like the Dragunov or PKM. So why not just let the other weapons spawn with more ammo? Why not just let the crates also spawn with ammo on top of it like it does already, but just make it more common? Like, just increase the... I don't know why he did that. Like, so they did the stats, they did the recoil pattern, they did the animations, like, they all this work to add a new weapon just for it to, like, be a glorified, like, ammo crate. Like, I don't understand that kind of balancing decision. And there's like it's not just one weapon like that, it's multiple weapons like that in this game. There's no reason to ever pick them up. Even if you're a new player too. Like, they are just absolute dog shit. You're gonna die using it. And it's like that too for some special variant weapons. Oh, this is the weapon I'm talking about. It literally spawns with just more ammo. That's it. That's literally all it does. And then there's ammo already on top of the crate when they could have just made it spawn with more. But as I was saying with the special variants, like for the Sweeper Deagle, you never want to pick that up because the recoil on it and the accuracy of it is just so bad. Like you're gonna die when you pick it up. Like, it is like literally like a knowledge check. Like, if you read the stats, you like tested like the weapon real quick on like a zombie to see how it performs, and then you just go into a PvP scenario and then you just get killed by like some noob with a map 49 because you try to be quirky with the Sweeper Deagle, and then you get pissed off and then log off for the night. That's literally how most of like these situations work with these special weapons that are like trying to be quirky. Like, it doesn't provide it. Like, I don't think it provides anything of substance. Like, yeah, maybe you've gotten like one like cheeky kill with it when some guy was just like looting. Okay, well, good for you. But try to use it more consistently, because really what like boils down to in this game is what weapon is more consistent, and the answer to that is just usually the like the automatic weapons. Just forget about any other like semi-auto weapon in the game. Like they might as well not exist in most like PvP. Besides maybe like snipers or DMRs when you can like shoot someone from range. Even the melee is to an extent now because they kind of nerfed it with I think they did like a patch to stop like cheaters from knifing everyone from across the map because that was becoming a problem. But now like they actually like follow like the attack like delay, which is really annoying, and also they can't hit through walls now. So they're even nerfed heavily now. So the only reason why you ever want to use melees is to just kill zombies. If you ever try to use it against a player and it's in like an enclosed building, if it hits the roof, oh, well, too bad, you died. Okay, so another thing, finding the better weapons. Oh, speaking of better weapons. So finding better weapons while looting is actually really hard. So what I mean by that is not just like the drying stuff, because in drying stuff you can just like go to like militia camps, you'll have like an AK or like an A1 off spawn, and then there you go. In like the regular map, it's kind of a little more balanced, but like still not really that good because you have to work your way up to I think it's like called Ferris Island to get like better automatic weapons, because I think the most you can get over here is like a grease gun or like a MAT 49, which is decent. But what if you want to get like the trooper during the drying? It's like 1% spawn rate on this particular zombie that barely spawns there to begin with. It's actually hard to find the good special variant weapons solely because of the fact they made it ultra rare on the zombies that spawn with it, or the crates or like whatever it is that spawn that like it spawns at. Or what if you want like an LMG, like an M249, M60, RPK? If you ever want to find those weapons, you just gotta get really lucky that those zombies are gonna spawn with it, or there's gonna be a crate with it. You are better off just finding these weapons from killing another player and then just getting it off their body. Oh, there's a player right here. This is the only other guy in the server, and he found me. Oh well. Why would you do that? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. These like low pop server players are just specimens, dude. Like, okay, let me just loot this guy real quick because he did have stuff for me. I think I already talked about like these low pop like players just doing like some bullshit like that. But yeah, I guess me killing that guy, that's a good example of just you are better off just killing another player and just taking their loot than actually finding the said loot that they had in the world. Like this guy had optics that I just could not find for like the past 2 hours. This guy had way better like attachments too. I like how I'm getting like these like visual examples too, like the cheater in the other recording I had. There's also a guy trying to betray me too, but I guess this is close enough. But yeah, that basically proves my point with like loot. Okay, next thing here was the recoil, but I did already like go over like the general like weapon stats, and now it's like a knowledge check. What I would like to say about the recoil is that it's like it is not really that well fleshed out. There are some weapons in the game like it is like a must to use attachments on it. Like for example, the FAL or M14 or M2 carbine, off the top of my head, because when you try to use them, like the visual recoil, like the weapon bouncing up and covering your screen, that kind of recoil, it literally blocks like your field of view, and you can't see in front of you, and then the guy you end up bursting, you maybe get like 1 or 2 shots in, and then he turns around and it just kills you that way. And this is just using the gun without attachments. Like you need to get attachments for like these weapons to work, which is so like backwards, like ass backwards to me. Why not just spawn those weapons with attachments? Why not just have a built-in attachment with it so it doesn't have that problem? Why not just change the recoil pattern so it like it like there's so, like why not just like so many like things you could do instead? This guy said you're this guy's pretty funny, but you get what I'm saying. The recoil in this game is bad. The weapons, like, they have bad recoil. You need attachments to make it work. There's some weapons as well where you need like an optic too, because the iron sights are so chunky. Like for example, I think the M16 weapons, the M249, it has chunky iron sights despite getting a rear model. Most of the AK weapons, besides the RPK and the RPK 74 that I'm using, it is bad, and they haven't been updated at all. Or no, actually, M249 has been updated, but they just like forgot about the iron sights. Maybe you're kind of just meant to use the optic on it. Maybe they kind of just assume that you're going to use it anyways. Like you already like know the gist of it. And getting attachments is already so rare. The only way you can get them, I think, is like through like special spawns or maybe like a attachment case, which is like those yellow ones, by the way. And even then, some of them are sometimes not well like named. Like there's like a bunch of variants for it. Sometimes it won't spawn said like attachment. Sometimes it'll spawn something else with it. Like I think one time I saw a bandage for it instead of like an actual attachment. And when you do get an attachment in them, sometimes it's the oil filter. And if you don't know what the oil filter does, it's basically like a shitty suppressor where it has like the usual like suppressor stats. It'll like suppress your sound profile, which it like that in itself already doesn't do much because the radius around like where people can hear you, it's really large. Like reducing it by like maybe like a percentage, it's not going to really do much. There'll still be like enough in your range. It stops zombies from hearing you, which I mean like you're not shooting zombies at all. You're always meleeing them if you know what you're doing. But it blocks your muzzle flash, which is a plus. And typically some of them will reduce your ADS speed, which can become sort of like barely noticeable if it's like the better ones. But with the oil filter, it decreases your ADS speed for the oil filter to be that of like an LMG when you're using like an assault rifle, which is insane. And it also reduces your damage range. So you're effectively turning your weapon into an LMG with the stats of an SMG. Like I don't know like these balancing decisions. And then there's like scopes in the game that are just like so bad, like why would you ever pick them up? DMR weapons you're not even using anyways. They're not really that good on the like automatic weapons because the recoil becomes insanely jumpy when you have it like so zoomed in. I think this guy's right here. Oh yep, he is. But yeah, as I was saying with the attachments, they are just like their stats are bad, and even then their stats aren't really accurately like given to you because I'm pretty sure this is like in a percentage, like it decreases recoil. That could be like maybe like 10%, 20%. Like these weapons, it's just more like trust me, bro, because it doesn't tell you exactly like what it does. It just gives you like moderately increases it, significantly increases it, significantly decreases it. Like it doesn't tell you exactly what it does. If they gave like a percentage and they accurately like showed that percentage like in the stats right here, I think that would go a long way for like new players and also for everyone else to just like know exactly what this does. But like generally these attachments need to rebalance like bad. I know they rebalance like I think like a few of them, but even then I have not seen them at all since beta map release. I think I saw them once. It's like it's like the M60, like it's just elusive. It's like a cryptid now. But yeah, I think I mostly said my piece. I might have forgot a few things from the last recording I did, but that's okay. You guys can probably just already have the same opinions, or you could just tell me that in the comments if I miss anything. I don't know if the devs actually watch my videos. If they do, I didn't make this video out of malice. I just say this out of like a place of just this game needs like sort of like intervention. Like there needs to be like some sort of conversation to go with this because it is like blatantly obvious that this game is not in a good place right now. Like man, like it's like I don't like seeing the game like this because I do enjoy it. Like when the game works, it is fun. And if there's like more features like the VIP like server thing, that would make it so much more tolerable. But I can only hope that's going to be like the next feature that they work on maybe after this event, but whatever. If there's anything else I missed, like I said, just tell me in the comments. Maybe I'll make a part 2 to this if there's like any sort of response or anything. If you guys want to see like anything else I talk about for this game, let me know. I might make other videos on other games. I kind of want to do like a part 2 to I play games that you suggest. If there's a game you want me to play, put it in the comments. Yeah, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully this game can get some sort of intervention or something after this.